Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Hopes. It is the start of a new chapter and we have a ton of people to talk to. But before we do that, we have a support conversation between, let's see, Raphael and Leone. It's their final support conversation. Let's see what they talk to each other about.
Got any arrows left, Raphael?
This is my last one.
There are so many wolves. I can't believe we've run out of arrows.
Guess all your archery skill doesn't mean much if you don't have arrows, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. At this point, we just have to take what...
Hang on, Leone. I got this. You've been helping me with archery, so now it's time for me to break out my specialty.
Raphael, that was amazing! You saved us!
It's all because you reinforced this bow for me.
Yeah, but I had no idea that's how you were planning to use it. I mean, you just grabbed it by the end and started thrusting it like a spear. No wonder those wolves ran off. You probably scared them all to death.
Well, you know, at least he's using the weapon.
I'm just impressed this thing held up to all that punishment. Your enhancement saved the day, Leone. Still, the fact that I couldn't break it means I'll have to work out even harder till I can. Wait, no. That's a bad idea. And yet, my muscles are crying for some good breakage. I don't know, Leone. What do you think?
Hey, your muscles saved our hides, so if you want to smash that bow to splinters, knock yourself out. Still, I reinforced that thing pretty well, so you'll need to come at it with everything you've got. And if you do manage to snap it, I'll keep making new ones until I finally perfect a Raphael-proof bow.
Now that's an idea I can get behind. I'll do what I'm good at, building muscles, and you do what you're good at, building bows. That way, we can combine our powers to be the toughest fighting duo in all of Fódlan.
You may be right. I mean, I'm not sure if we'll be quite the force of nature you seem to think we'll be, but it'll definitely put our strong suits to good use. Say, do you remember what I said when I first helped you reinforce that bow? I told you you'd help me with your specialty one day, just like I was helping you with mine. And guess what? That's exactly what happened today. I think this is the start of great things for us.
I can't wait to see where we go from here.
I'll be counting on you, big guy.
Well, you go nowhere. That was your A-level support. You will never talk to each other again. I mean, that's not entirely true. They might have an epilogue, but, you know, that would ruin the joke. Right, and now we have Marianne and Leone. Very popular today.
Can't believe I didn't catch anything. Guess it's just that kind of day.
Oh, hello, Leone.
Hey, Marianne. Where are you off to?
Nowhere. I mean, I'm just on my way back from the stables. And you?
Is she lying or is she just being awkward? I'm edging on the side of awkward, but it does rather sound like if you start with nowhere and then come up with an answer, it does rather sound like you're lying.
Coming back from the world's lousiest hunting trip? I didn't even find a single track.
Okay, they've moved on. She was just being awkward.
And it's the first time I'd been hunting in a while, too. Talk about a waste of time.
Oh, that's too bad. But what is that you're holding?
Oh, this? Just some weeds. Felt bad coming back completely empty-handed. I figured I could use some to fill up my meal, so I went and gathered them. Also grabbed some medicinal herbs while I was at it.
Is this a reference to Dedue and Dimitri's thing that they had when they do chores in Three Houses, where Dedue says to Dimitri, please don't eat the weeds? I get a feeling that this is a reference to that.
Is that yellow flower edible too?
No, not at all. It's not poisonous, but it's really bitter. It's one of my favorite flowers, though. They're so pretty, don't you think? I saw some blooming and just had to pick one.
Yes, it's beautiful. All those tiny blossoms blooming from it. It seems almost heroic. Merely looking at it gives me the strength to continue living for another day. no matter what obstacles may come.
Can't say I've ever given it quite that much thought. Tell you what, why don't you take it?
Are you sure? After you went and picked it.
Hey, it's just a flower. It's yours.
Thank you. No, I'll feel bad keeping this lovely flower all to myself. Maybe I can put it in a bouquet and place it in the mess hall for everyone to enjoy.
You're always so thoughtful, Marianne.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
It's something all right. But speaking of flowers, are there any you want me to keep an eye out for? I can pick whatever you like next time I go hunting.
Well, perhaps some mountain gooseberry?
The little green berries, right? Oh man, I love those. You can boil them up into jam, but I usually just eat the suckers by the handful wherever I find them.
Yes, I was thinking they'd be perfect to feed the birds.
Wait, you're giving them to birds?
I'll eat them too, together with the birds. But there's something you have to watch out for.
You mean the thorns, right? You're pretty knowledgeable about those little guys. Have you picked them before yourself?
No, but the birds told me all about them.
Ah, yes, because she can talk to the birds. We have no evidence that she can actually talk to the birds, but she believes it, and the information that she gets seems to be fairly, good, so maybe she can talk to the birds.
The birds told you. Marianne, you actually made a joke. I love it.
No, it's not... well, I'm glad it made you happy.
Alright, so after that bit of social awkwardness, we have no more supports left, and it's time to talk to everybody about how they feel about the insurrection in the Federation. But before we do that, we have to go to the Supply Master, because that message on the left-hand side of the screen is going to bug me.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army.
So, we'll collect all of these. We can actually get rid of a ton of these now if we actually want to spend the time doing it. And get a bunch of smithing stones, but that's maybe something for later in the chapter. And then we're going to jump over to Arval, who's the first person we're going to speak to. Something slithers among the shadows. And you, or should I say we, are suspected of being involved.
What do you think?
This is an opportune moment to ferret out the truth of the matter, don't you agree? Yes, I would agree. But that's kind of the end of our conversation.
It is you. Many thanks.
Shez, I must apologize for interrogating you the way I did. In my defense, you do possess the same power as those who slither in the dark. It is hard to believe that you would have no relation to them.
What are your thoughts?
Are you not curious to find out if you do? Yeah, we're curious. I'd be lying if I said it didn't bug me. We're talking about my identity after all. I would be desperate to discover my true identity were I in your position. But no matter, nothing will change the fact that you are our ally. Okay, cool. Anyone in here wanna chat? Anyone in here have a book? No to both. Also, this place is definitely jazzed up since last time. There were more like yellow curtains and things. Yeah, I think the camp does advance as you go through. It's just like very slow. But yeah, like I think that all the things that were in boxes are now kind of out and about here. Just cool. Hey Hilda.
Hello. That reminds me.
Claude said that Tomas's group is involved in these riots, but most of the people causing trouble are just regular old bandits, right?
So basically,
I'm more worried about the fact that there were so many bandits looking around Leicester in the first place. That's, a fair point. That is a problem.
Let's see.
I'm sure a lot of people haven't been able to find decent work recently. Yeah, maybe more people have turned to stealing because they lost their homes and fields in the war. I think we'll see a lot fewer of these incidents once we make it easier for people to find work. Hilda? That's actually like a fairly good point, well thought out. Yeah, good. Gold star for you. Happy. Hello. I've got a bad feeling about this. How do I describe it?
Honestly, I don't know.
It's like I sense darkness or something like that. It's hard to put into words. Tell me about the darkness.
Hey.
Darkness, you mean like for me, for example?
Yeah.
Maybe. I might. Which probably means my bad feeling isn't all that reliable. Or it means that we're about to turn evil? Imagine if, right? Imagine if. And I'm fairly certain this isn't going to happen. But imagine if they, at the end of this chapter, when actually Shez has been evil all the time, now you play as the Ashen Demon. And that's the reason why there's a split in the chapters, because you would keep playing as the Ashen Demon for these extra 3 chapters, and if the Ashen Demon isn't on your side, then you just skip to the finale. That would be crazy. I don't think that's the case, but I'm just throwing it out there as like a, I could call it, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it might. Anyway.
What seems to be the problem?
I prayed with all the refugees who fled to the church, and the goddess answered our prayers by sending the Federation army to our aid. But yeah, it would also make sense because they named the Ashen Demon after your 3 houses character. I think it's after the last 3 houses save that you have, so I mean, potentially it's something that, could happen. Anyway.
Excuse me.
My mother's family hails from Ordelia territory, but I haven't been able to contact them. I'm terribly worried about my grandparents. I have no way to make sure they're safe. I truly hope they're alright. Okay, see ya. Hello, mercenary. My partner died in the last battle. We've been together for ages. Nothing to do about it now. Captain Gerald decided that we should work with the Federation. I was convinced it was the right choice at the time. Ooh, okay. We've got some dissension within the ranks. That isn't ideal when there's also revolts in the cities and, in the Federation itself. Hello. Ordelia territory's taking a beating. We gotta get out there and help them. Okay, let's help.
Absolutely.
You're right, we need to get a move on.
Hey,
You're all fired up too, huh? Good, we can tear 'em up, we can tear it up together then. Hello. I'm worried about everyone in Ordelia. We need to get out there and help them as soon as we can. I don't know. I know I don't deserve the title anymore.
Let's give it a go.
But a Knight of Fargus would never be so quick to abandon the townsfolk. Okay, well, at least he's got more of a reason to be here. He's no longer attacking, his friends and family. Hello. Doesn't all this moving around make you lose track of where we are, Shez?
Wait, what?
I have no clue where I am. The Alliance? No, wait, it's the Federation now, right? I'm gonna tell her where we are.
Yeah.
Alliance
I
or
don't know.
Federation doesn't matter. They're both Leicester. Anyway, we're on the northern side of the Armed River now. The Empire is just on the other side, but I understand we've traveled a great deal.
Wait, what?
What? We're that close to the Empire? We're not gonna run into my father, are we? Oh dear. One crisis to the next. Hello.
Greetings, friend.
Greetings, Commander. Something to report. Well, the things to report aren't actually happening around the gate. Both shores of the Armed River to the east are apparently crawling with bandits.
So what do you think?
Fighting to protect the people. What a great responsibility. I hope I can help somehow. Cool. Moving on. Who have we got over here? Mercenary.
What do you want?
I was lucky to snag a new employer right after Acheron died. Otherwise, I could have easily been one of the bandits attacking Ordelia territory right now. Fair point. I've slain more bandits than I care to count, but this is a whole nother level.
Here's a thought.
They don't usually work in groups. Most do much better working on their own. So if they're cooperating with each other, it must mean someone else is pulling the strings.
And that's that.
We don't know what we'll uncover, so keep your guard up. Okay. Will do. Hello, Constance.
In point of fact,
When the city of Nouvelle fell, it was overrun by bandits and looters. At the time, the Imperial Army had been so focused on fighting forces from Dagda that the city's guards were practically non-existent.
truly incredible.
But now, we've mobilized our forces and prioritized aiding the people. rather than the war itself. I feel misty-eyed with gratitude. Let's express relief.
So basically...
That just goes to show we're nothing like the Empire. I think it's a good thing.
Oh,
Yes, that is exactly right. This is what the new Federation stands for. Cool. We'll leave her be. Over here, Marianne. My adoptive father was waiting for me when we arrived at the port in Edmund territory.
What should I...
He even told me to return safely. What has gotten into him? He was showing that he cares? Isn't it pretty natural for a parent to worry about their child? Especially if she's constantly rushing off to battle?
How's that?
A parent? Does that mean he truly thinks of me as his daughter? He must, or else he wouldn't be worried. And I'm sure he knows how hard you've been fighting.
Let's give it a try.
I hope we can speak more next time, though I'm not sure what we'd even talk about. I just thought of another devastating story point. What if Marianne's father is actually a horrible person, or her adoptive father is a horrible person, and this person who's being nice to her doesn't know that he's a horrible person and is actually a shapeshifter and is one of those who slither in the dark? That would, you know, be it would be heartbreaking for her, but you know, could be cool as a story point. Have you heard about the dance master that lives in southwestern Rim territory? No, I have not heard about the dance master. A new class? Apparently they won the White Heron Cup. Boy, does that take me back. Oh, you don't know what that is, huh? I thought you would have definitely heard of it. Yeah, okay. So maybe we got the dancing class at some point? Hey, Yuri.
Hello.
I imagine that after our trick with the ships, Fargus will increase their defenses on the eastern coast.
Basically.
That same approach won't work again. We'll have to come up with some other method of attack. Though quelling the riots in Ardelia territory is our first priority. Who would have expected we'd be interrupted when we're so close to finishing the fight? Okay, but the other side of that is that the kingdom of Fargus is now able to fight off the Empire. Like, they're able to put their forces into doing that, and they know what we're after. So we might be able to work out something without fighting now that they've got a little bit more time to think about things.
Did you hear?
There's a bridge in Ardelia territory that crosses over the Armed River, though it's not nearly as big as the Great Bridge of Murden. Normally there's a checkpoint on either side to prevent bandits from passing through, but they must have taken control of it since we've had reports bandits are on both sides of the river. Okay, fair enough. Shamir?
It's you.
Ah, what a mess. At least I know this isn't the Church's doing. The Knights of Saros would usually be the ones fighting with everything they've got in this kind of situation. The Federation, on the other hand, accepts full responsibility for protecting each and every one of their citizens. Now that I've cut ties with the Central Church, I can really appreciate them taking on such a burden. I'm grateful for it. Okay, good to know. Over here, we got any books in here? There's actually been nothing in the infirmary. But now there's a book. Book of Saros 5. The 5 Eternal Commandments. Dare not doubt or deny the power or existence of the goddess. Dare not speak the goddess's name in vain. Dare not disrespect your father, mother, or any who serve the goddess. Dare not abuse the power gifted to you by the goddess. Dare not kill, harm, lie, or steal unless such acts are committed by the will of the goddess. The goddess cares for and protects all that is beautiful in this world. The goddess will never deny the splendors of love, affection, joy, peace, faith, kindness, temperance, modesty, or patience. Follow her example, and in doing so, abide her laws. I mean, that all sounds well and good, but it also sounds a little bit like a cult. You know? Just a little bit.
Let's see.
I didn't expect this would happen. I hope the people in Ardelia are alright. I quelled many a disturbance just like this back when I was with the Knights.
Ready and willing.
And though the place and my title may be different, I still fight for the people. No pun? Wow, this must be serious. Alright, Petra?
Please be listening.
I am estimating there will be more fighting in the city. Not enemy soldiers, but bandits and rioters.
What do you think?
I'm having a better time fighting in this situation. What about you? Worse.
That reminds
To be
me.
honest, those kinds of battles are not my strong suit. It's much easier fighting in a wide open field. I am not in agreement. It surprises me we are not seeing eye to eye. Okay, fair enough. Let's not run in front of the people shooting arrows.
Those muscles?
After getting off the ship and walking all this way, my legs are as strong as tree trunks. Like really big ones. I gotta start working on my upper body to keep everything balanced. Scold them. You shouldn't waste time working out. There are people who need our help. Don't be silly. I can't fight at my full strength if my muscles aren't even. My chest and arms are gonna be crying in pain if I leave them out. Fair enough, fair enough. Right, leave him alone. Who have we got over here? Linthart. Oh, I'm so utterly exhausted. Not only did we have to travel from the kingdom, but we fought numerous battles along the way.
How very sad.
And now this war is going to drag on because of this. All one can do is sigh, really. Do you want to take a break?
What do you think?
You can ask Claude for a break.
Not happening.
I wouldn't want to risk that. I'm from the Empire. You might decide it's time for me to rest permanently. So he's basically saying he's here under what he believes is pain of death. You know, if he stops working for us, then, like, you know, we might just kill him. I mean, that doesn't sound, great. I'm assuming that's what he means by permanently, and he doesn't just mean he'll go home. Anyway.
Please listen.
The former Phlegethian territory has been jointly ruled by the other nobles since Acheron's untimely demise. But none of them can spare any troops, so it's mostly managed by House Gloucester. The former Count Gloucester is also currently taking steps to ensure the bandits do not invade and claim Phlegethian land for their own. I know we were told how to pronounce it earlier, I've forgotten. Is Acheron's land.
So?
The bandits have spread as far as Rim territory, right? There's never been rioting on both sides of the Armed River simultaneously.
Ah, that's right.
Oh, but if I recall, House Ordelia and House Rim have suffered through a disturbance like this once before. At the time, Viscount Rim staged an uprising and Count Ordelia joined her. I can't imagine that bears any relation to our current crisis, but it does give me pause. Well, it might. It just might bear, you know, some relation. Hey, Leone.
Would you like to talk? You gotta be kidding me!
If someone's starting these riots as part of some bigger scheme, I swear I'll kill them myself. Only the most sadistic villain would drag innocent villagers into this.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make them suffer. I don't care about their sorry excuses. Oh wait, you probably want a chance to question them, don't you? I don't care.
Nuh-uh.
Don't worry about me. You can do whatever you want when you find them.
Uh-huh.
You sure? Then I'm gonna do just that. Watch out, villains. I'm gonna take you down. Hello. House Ordelia was finally starting to make a comeback after our alliance with the Empire, and now this. If those who slither in the dark are behind this, I swear I'll make them suffer. Try to calm her down.
Hey.
Let's just take a deep breath, Lysithia. We need to remain calm at times like these.
This isn't a
What?
joke.
How can you, of all people, remain calm? You could be related to them, you know. In any event, we need to find out who's pulling the strings. Once we capture their leader, we'll make them confess. Alright, well, we got some enthusiasm for this bit of the war.
Greetings.
I was sent over to help you all, but I'm amazed at how quickly King Claude is handling the situation. Forming the Federation was worth it, if only to provide faster aid without waiting for the Round Table. A region is nothing without its people, you know. The Empire could learn a thing or two from you. Okay, little Empire representation here. Hello.
There you are.
So we're fighting bandits and scoundrels next.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who we're up against, I'll cut them down all the same. Respond undaunted.
Right on.
You got that right. I'm not gonna let you outdo me either. Just watch, I'll do a better job than you.
Sure.
Let's do this together instead. Things will work out better for the both of us that way. Okay. Is it just a random thing he's saying, or is there some kind of extra thing to that? some extra thing he's maybe getting from Sothis? I don't know. Anyway, hello. We almost had the kingdom cornered, only to have to retreat at the last second. A mediocre king would never have the courage to make such a quick decision.
I knew you were special.
His Majesty is truly a paragon of leadership. I am honored to serve him. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I appreciate what Hull says, but like, he's so loyal that you just, like, everything is filled with this layer of bias. Like, whether it's about Claude or his sister or whatever, like, if he's loyal to them, he will be like, they are the best thing in the world. Which is good to have for, you know, a protector of the realm.
How can I be of service?
I'm a member of the local guard in a village near here. Most of my compatriots have been killed. I didn't think there was any way the Federation army would help us because they were all fighting the war. But here you are in full force. The king didn't abandon us after all. Okay, in here we go. Hello, Claude.
Keep up the good work.
Oh boy.
I'm sure Dimitri's equally astounded by this interruption. If it had only happened a few days later, we could have been well on our way to ending the war by now. It's entirely possible that whoever's doing this doesn't want that to happen. But that could make sense, although those who slither in the dark are very much against the Central Church. So if us ending the war separated the Central Church from the Kingdom of Fargus, you would think that that would be a positive thing for them. But they don't want that. I wonder why. Well, I suppose they could want Sothis. But that would mean that this route could only happen if we didn't have the Ashen Demon with us. Because otherwise they wouldn't have a reason to rebel and try and get the army here. So I don't know what they're really after. Anyway. It can't be a coincidence though.
Let's see.
It's too big a coincidence. All this happened right when we were about to gain control of the capital. Exactly. These people were likely keeping a close eye on everything, waiting for the most opportune moment to strike. But if those who slither in the dark are behind this, then their goal is to plunge all of Fódlan into chaos. Either that or they plan to conquer it while we're still all exhausted. Or they plan to conquer it while we're all exhausted from the war.
What?
And we can't afford to be fighting a war right now. Stopping them needs to be our top priority. The issue is, we have no proof. A few educated guesses won't convince the others to stop fighting.
That's a tricky one.
We need definitive evidence. I only hope we'll find some here. Okay. Good to know. We've got a new objective. Stop all the wars.
Are you busy?
Despite his failing health, Count Ordelia has been trying to restore peace in his territory ever since we allied with the Empire. But all of that's ruined now. I cannot imagine how devastating this must be for him. Why must we all suffer these disasters? Although I suppose Claude's goal was to end the war, he just wanted to end the war by getting rid of the Central Church. But his end goal was, in theory, you know, ending the war, as far as we're aware right now, so yeah, I guess it does still line up. If we can end the war by presenting a bigger threat, then that would also work. Okay, and then we don't need to get rid of the Central Church. I mean, it would be a problem after that, but, you know, temporary peace would still be good. I thought Nadir was going to come with us, but he stayed on the ship and went back to Elmira. Apparently, he convinced the Elmiran soldiers not to pillage anything while we were in the kingdom. He may seem unreasonable at first, but he's actually a good guy. He's really changed my opinion of him. I hope we cross paths again. I never got the chance to thank him. Okay, cool. And with that, we've spoken to absolutely everybody. Now, there is one thing I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is chores. Now, what I've been told with chores is that apparently, if you do a chore, and then, or like a volunteering, and then you do a battle, that'll reset the volunteering available, so you can have the same person volunteer multiple times in a month, which might be very useful for us to get a few of those extra little supports done. So it's just worth remembering. Anyway, one thing before we do anything else, just because it's going to bug me otherwise, and I want to remember it, I'm just going to go in here and clear out that view document. And then I think it's probably time for us to do a battle. That would make a lot of sense to me. I was thinking there must be something I've forgotten to do, but I don't think that there is. I think we have done everything that needed to be done. So, let's do a save. And we will chuck ourselves into the battle. Which will have a bit of story afterwards, usually. Okay, so there's only one battle we can do immediately. You have unlocked the Paralog battle, a reason to fight. Ooh, okay. So that's Geralt, Ashen Demon, and Leone. Huh. That is very interesting to me. I think that's probably a next time thing, but that is interesting. Okay. So this is one that we have to do. I'm just looking at where things are unlocking. So we probably want to do like this one. Yeah, so probably this one, then like get one of these two, and then we're ready to do any extra quests that pop up. What's this? Abandoned Tower. Okay, cool. Let's do this one. A falling out. Scouts report a clash between bandits and a number of suspicious individuals, possibly some kind of falling out. Eliminate both groups. Okay, so it's us versus two armies, I'd assume. It is. Defeat the Withen Lord and other enemies. So just a ton of enemies to defeat, and we have a Holy Knight that we can't let die. Okay. So weak to sword. Nothing weak to axe. Nothing weak to lance. We have some magic users. So we have some magic users down the bottom. I'm just going to move these people so I remember where people are. So magic users down the bottom. Axe users kind of in here. So I'm thinking we send one person down the bottom right to clear out the magic users. We send one person forward and then left to clear out the axe users. We have bow users in the back, so that seems like we want Marianne. So let's go with Marianne here.
Oh, me?
Oh, we got more bow users up here. And then what's the more bow users up here? But does that say Marianne is not strong against them? No, she's strong against one. Sword is strong against the other. I guess it makes sense to have Lysithea be the last person here then, because she's got a little bit of magic, she's got a little bit of sword. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. She's also currently motivated.
I'll handle this.
Let's go with that. Convoy. You look fine. You look fine. You look fine. You look fine. Okay, ability-wise, I'm assuming they're all going to be fine because we've used them all recently. Yep. Okay. Well, we're ready to go then. Let's do a save and chuck ourselves in. Oh, one thing I do want to check. It's not going to change anything, but it's 7 minutes 530, so it's a standard mission. Okay.
Let's earn our keep.
Do a pause at the start. Oh, I didn't mean to bring Shez. Okay, whatever. We'll bring Shez. I just won't control him, I guess.
You can count on
I
me.
forgot that Shez is very OP.
I'll do my best.
I probably should have brought someone like Holst, but that's okay.
Please, excuse
Send
me.
you up this way.
Is this okay?
And send you down this way.
Here I go. There's nothing these muscles can't
Let's
do.
control Marianne for just now.
Show you how my hard work
I'll
has
fight
paid
too.
off.
This way.
Yeah, we can win this.
Couple of attacks. Let's clear out these. Spotted those who are in darks fighting the thieves. Or those who slither in the dark.
Forward march! And don't let me catch you lagging behind.
That was pretty good. Right. Attack this sniper.
Stand down.
Ooh, that's bad. There we go. Good hit. Now we can just keep hitting this one.
Why?
And they are very, very dead. Nice. Level up. Level 43.
I'm feeling confident now.
Cool.
This is all
Go through
my
here.
fault.
Now focus on the stronghold. Good bit of fire. Gotta just avoid being hit by the archer. Good bit of ice. Hopefully we freeze them. Think we did. Okay, get around this side. Hit them. All of them. One big explosion. Fantastic.
We
Right.
ceased it.
Then I'm going to get this base captain, and then I'm going to send her up the top by herself. Ooh, he defeated the Dark Mage already?
The rest is up to...
Oh, is that a level up for Marianne? Oh, it's a level up for Shez. Okay.
I'm getting stronger.
You!
Yeah, I was thinking Shez was a bit weak. I say sarcastically.
Please. Excuse
right.
me.
Attack
Is
here.
this okay?
You're doing okay. You can kind of just stay there for just now. I'm gonna control you.
All right, here I go.
Where's the base captain?
I'm sorry.
There he is. Right.
We weren't strong enough. We did it.
A little bit of punching. Nice. Right. Battle Trance, because we still don't have that leveled. And then Fierce Iron Fist. Nice. Punch. Gives us more might. And then we do lots and lots and lots of punches. This is ours.
Looks
Right.
like that's it
We don't
for
have a
us.
key yet for this, I think. Yeah,
Of
so we're going to
course
need a
I
key
do.
at some point.
Did it?
Let's go along here. Punch.
All right.
Don't know who has the key either. Oh, there we go.
We'll give it a go.
Answers my question. Okay, we might be Shez for 2 seconds here. Shez,
Take a breather.
hit him. And hit him. Where's the thief? In here? There we go. Keep focusing on the thief. That's fine. Wasn't the one I was aiming for. Thief. Keep hitting the thief. Right, one more hit. Got him. Picketus appeared. Okay. That's fine. Is this our main mission? I think it might be. I'm gonna tell you.
Here I go.
Actually, you know what? Right now, I am gonna get you to head over here. And I'll use Shadow. All right, let's control you. Figure this one out.
Muscles can't do.
Shadow slide, because you don't need to be here anymore.
Well, couldn't hurt.
Then
Not a problem.
get you to open the
Move
chest.
out.
Then you can do what you like afterwards.
Not a problem. Move out.
I don't know what I've
Not a
told you to
problem.
do. There we go. Open chest.
Move out.
Perfect. I think our mission is now just kill the... Oh, it's kill this person as well. Okay, that's fair enough. Right. How are we looking in terms of numbers?
It's my turn.
We need 50 more killed, and then we can do this. Oh, that's no problem. Bunch of punches. Gremory and the Dark Bishop appeared.
Not yet.
Are they for any particular reason, or just like they appeared? Okay. Defeat them. Okay, so they're part of like side quest. That's okay.
We're done
Just
for.
wanted to know.
The rest is up to you.
Keep punching this one. Right. Through here.
I'm sorry.
How many are we at?
We weren't
490.
strong enough.
Okay, cool.
Did I meet your expectations?
Charge. And hit him. She's not really in trouble.
More I can do.
Right. I'm assuming she's not really in trouble. An injured soldier appeared. Okay. Heal. We gotta go help that one. Okay. Raphael, good luck. Marianne, I'm you now.
I'll give
Okay.
it a try.
Dash, dash, dash. Okay. Ignore everything.
Ill afford defeat here.
Ignore everything. Go this way. And Aura. Followed by Thimble Better. Whatever it's called.
Best, isn't it?
Right, keep attacking.
You're pretty amazing.
Right. I know she's taking damage, but I don't think that was while we were controlling her, because it didn't count towards our damage stats. Aura. Cool. Keep hitting here. Right, a couple more hits. Got him. Right. And then that should be the Gremory dead.
I'll try.
Oh, we didn't actually get these two? Okay, hit him.
Black as coffee.
I won't run away.
Huge damage. Nice. Injured soldier is now okay.
Please, excuse me.
You guard
I'm
him.
not sure I'll be much use,
Just be with him
but
for
I'm
just
coming
now.
to help.
You two doing all right? You're doing fine. Let's try and free up Lysithea.
Watch closely.
Looks like
That
that's
worked.
it for us.
Okay. Through here.
I'm dragging the others down.
What's the plan? I think actually that guy's clear. Right. Side mission successful. Cool.
You can count on me.
So your job is now head up
I'll
here,
do my best.
as is your job.
Please, excuse me. Is
I actually
this
think
okay?
I'm going to get them both to attack the
can
target
count
of
on
the
me.
mission.
I'll do my
There we
best.
go. Or the side quest. Menu. We got about 2 minutes and a half. Okay, let's be you.
All right. Here
And
we
Fierce
go.
Iron Fist.
A mere try.
Right, let's get the stronghold first. Couple more punches. Press X in the box. There we go. Finally got it. We took a little bit too much damage doing that, but it's okay. Defeat the Dark Bishop, got the stronghold, leveled up.
That's something.
It is something.
For.
You're not wrong there.
It's up to you.
Hit him.
I'm on a roll. Get ready.
So stomp.
Now watch
Hits against
me
the wall.
flex. Did you see that? My muscles always win the
If
day.
I get that health, it'll also give us increased damage because we're not Lysithea, because we're Raphael, different
And I
people.
won't let anyone take it back.
I think I got trapped outside the level for a second there. That's fine.
All right.
We
Here
can
I
now
go.
do everybody attacks. All out offensive.
There's nothing these muscles can't do.
Right. Be you.
Is
Freeze.
This is all my fault.
can't
Then
afford to lose.
Aura.
I know we can count on you.
Then switch to Lysithea. I know we can switch using the
it's my
D-pad,
turn.
but I've never done it. So it's one of these ones where I'm just going to do it the way that it's been working so far.
Goddess, please have mercy
Get out
on your
here,
souls.
one of these.
You're gonna leave me in the dust if I'm not careful.
Grab that. Did we kill the Grimory? We did. Perfect.
I'm dragging the others
And
down.
hit him.
Will be your penance. Ha! Out of my way.
And are they dead? Not yet. One of these.
What a nuisance.
Right. Main mission successful.
That's no surprise. I work much harder than anyone else.
And stage complete. SSS. Fantastic. That gives us the Brave Bow. A little bit of XP. And an MVP
Did I
for
really do it?
Marianne. Cool. As long as it doesn't go to Shez, I really don't care, because I want the XP on somebody that it matters on. Also, Mastered War Master for Raphael.
Getting stronger.
Piercing Gaze.
Glad I haven't been wasting my time.
And Counter-Strike. Okay. Speed Carrot, some more speed for Shez. And a Master Seal. 12,000 gold. We are just rolling in gold now. Do a save. If we get to the point where we've upgraded everything we need to, we could, in theory, turn that gold into... like, we could turn all that gold into, like, better weapons and actually upgrade our weapons for the first time ever. Also, story.
We've dealt with bandits before, but this is worse than anything I could have imagined.
Indeed. The damage done to the larger towns was upsetting enough, but the horrors unleashed upon some of the villages borders on the unspeakable.
We saw entire fields trampled and destroyed. Whole villages burned to their foundations.
Attacking innocent civilians like that. It's inhuman.
How could anyone be so cruel? To torment people like this and then walk away laughing. It's horrible.
I'm convinced that those who slither in the dark are behind this, pulling the strings. It makes perfect sense, seeing as they already know Ordelia territory so well.
What do you mean?
Many years ago, the Empire accused House Ordelia of participating in the Hrim Rebellion. This was just an excuse to begin meddling in our affairs. During that time, they sent a group of strange mages into Ordelia territory. Everything about them felt wrong, from the way they looked to the powers they possessed. It was clear they weren't regular people.
Are you saying they were really those who slither in the dark?
I believe so, now that I look back on it, though it's not exactly a memory I care to relive.
And now they've wormed their way into Ordelia and Hrim territories again. This is just a guess, but their base of operations could be somewhere near here. Do you remember ever having lived in this area?
Yeah, my mom and I spent a few years in a mountain village somewhere in Ordelia territory. But she wasn't born there, and I don't know where she lived before that.
There could be a connection there. Or maybe it's nothing. Either way, dealing with them needs to be our top priority. We gave them this opening. They never would have been able to take advantage of us like this if we hadn't been at war. Just another reason why we have to end this conflict as quickly as possible. We have to ensure nothing like this ever happens again.
Okay, agreed. We have an extra quest, which is going to be difficult to get to, but we can get there. Alright. An abandoned house whose occupants cannot be located. Seems the residents fled somewhere. They left some useful items behind. Nice. Well, we don't need all of them, but that's still nice. I mean, we so don't need all of them because it didn't even unlock a new building for us. As in, like, it didn't say something can be upgraded. Because we don't need the training gear because I think we're fully up to date on training. And we're fully up to date on storage, so there we go. A town some distance from the battlefield. You visited a residence on the edge of town. The scholar living there welcomed you in.
I see.
I'm traveling across Fódlan collecting literature. If you have something I'm interested in, I'm willing to trade. Arithmetic textbook, and he will give us Fears and Frights of Fódlan. Well, I don't have the item, but we will do it once we get the item. Cool. Let's return to camp, grab that arithmetic textbook, and take it back. Because we have all of the gifts anyway, so we might as well do this. So, forward, and hello there.
I carry a little of everything here.
Arithmetic textbook, arithmetic textbook. Do you not sell it? Oh, it must be... Oh no, there we go.
You've got
you do sell it. It's just not one of the more expensive ones.
Hope to see you again soon.
Proceed to the war map. I was going to say, is that an Anna thing? But I guess it's not. Right. Down out here.
I see.
Let's do it. You obtained Fears and Frights of Fódlan. Oh, is that a book that we can maybe read in camp? Not really sure what he gave us, but let's have a look. It is. Okay. Cool. Blood fruit. It's said that these blood-red fruits grow on old battlefields and other lands soaked with blood. The fruit is filled with layers upon layers of sweet seeds, and anyone who bites into it finds their hunger sated. That is, until they find they cannot live without it. An old Grondor legend. The Wandering Beast. In the enchanted forest of Mercia, on nights when the mist is thick, an otherworldly wailing can be heard. One must never enter the wood on nights like these. Anyone who does is never seen again, for in the mist lurks a bloodthirsty beast. An old Leicester legend. I believe that is Marianne's paralogue in Three Houses. Ghosts beneath the earth. Frightful voices reverberate from below the ground. These are the lamentations of the dead who could not reach the goddess and must instead wander the land of the dead. They resent those who live under the sun, and at times will drag them down into the depths. An old Fargus legend. Dana's Sandstorm. They say the north has sandstorms that prevent invaders. Merchants may navigate the edges of the desert undisturbed, but if someone steps into the desert seeking something, the scenery will change in an instant. It is said in that moment a gigantic sandstorm will rise up to tear them to pieces. An old legend from an unknown region. I think that's a paralog in Three Houses as well. I want to say Claude, but I'm not sure. Fog Giant. If you go into the mountains at dawn, you may find yourself shrouded in fog. If that happens, you must crouch down and wait for the fog to clear. Whatever you do, do not flee, or the Fog Giant will trample you. An old Fargus legend. Death's Scythe. During the Red Wolf Moon, on nights when the moon is full, be sure your windows are shut tight when you sleep, for those are nights when death will come with his giant scythe to harvest lives. And don't even think about going outside. In the morning they'll find your corpse drained of blood. An old Mach legend. That, I believe, is carried on to the Death Knight in Three Houses. The Red Demon. At the bottom of the peaceful-looking Whitehorn Sea, a red demon slumbers. When someone falls overboard from a boat, the demon pulls them down to drown them. To ward against it, use oil to... A collection of ghost stories from around Fódlan. Oh, okay. I mean, that was interesting. Yeah, it was cool. A little bit unique. Just a bit of lore that's kind of connected, but kind of unconnected to what's going on. Anyway, I think it's time for me to end the episode there. Thank you for watching. Next time, it's into missions. I think we're going to start with the paralog. I believe I was told that the paralog does not count against the extra quests. Not the extra quests, the extra battles timer. So we can test that one out. And apart from that, yeah, just lots and lots of missions. We've got a lot of things to do. We've got a lot of people to get volunteering sorted on. We've got to get more support sorted. So we'll probably try and even out the missions so we're getting the people who need supports together doing missions. But yeah, it's all kind of standard fare from there. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.